Hi there everybody, welcome back to Lost Odyssey. It's Chocolate Milk here, and we're going to be doing some serious cleanup of the game now that we finished both grand staffs, and just before we finish up the game and go to the last little bits of the game here. We've only got a few more treasure hunts to find, we've only got one more dream to find, and we're really starting to make some headway. So I'm going to start off in the City of Saman. Because I said earlier we were trying to get a mask from the item shop salesman, and now we can get it. I think this will trigger after you get the treasure hunt information from the guy at the shop, but I don't actually remember what it is that triggers it. Or you might actually have to go into the Temple of Enlightenment first. But this guy's going to give you the Enchanter's mask. And we need to bring this to an area that we haven't been yet, the hardest dungeon in the whole entire game. So when we go there, we have to bring this mask and put it in its rightful place, or else this mask is going to haunt the shopkeeper forever. Now you want to grab this now, just to save yourself some trouble before you go there. So I'll remind you guys later before we go there. But for now, we're going to pick up this, the Enchanter's mask here. It's going to go in our key items. And for now, we're just going to hold on to it. So that's about it. That's all we wanted to do in the item shop. And now I'm also going to go and clean out the auction house, because there are no more non-revisitable areas in this game now. The two grand staffs were the last of the areas, and the rest of the game is just places we can go back and get anything that we might have missed. So I'm going to go and we're going to see what I missed in the game, and then I will probably have to educate you guys on where that is if I can remember. So here we go. Offshore of Numara. Now, I didn't explain that very well, I don't think. It was a mini game with the Arthosaurus. You can get items in the water. Again, that was another item I missed. There's two from the Offshore of Numara. Offshore of Numara. Again, these items were in the water that you could get in the Arthosaurus, like when they're in the city, and if you don't get them then you miss them. And I just didn't explain it because I never got them. I always get them here. So anything that says Offshore of Numara were just things I missed there. Gohtza Station, it was just something that I missed when we were in Gohtza before it froze over. I think I had put annotations over both of those things. And that's about it, I think. It's just the Offshore of Numara and the Gohtza platform that I had missed items in, and that was it. So I really didn't do too bad. I got everything from every other optional area that we could not ever go back to. And the rest of the treasures in the world are for us to find. And now we've cleaned it up completely. There are no more auction items in the whole entire auction house ever, and we never have to come back here. So that's about it. Moving on, I think we're pretty much done in the City of Saman now. So we're going to be, I'm just going to leave the city here, and then we're going to go to our next area. I will see you guys in the City of Numara. I'm going to enter from the side of the port, because this is just a little optional thing here on Canal Street, and it's just easier to get here from the port. So remember those little kids that we found earlier? We helped them get back all their items, and we became a part of their club. Well, now, if we come over here, we'll see that the little Chew girl with the little ears is trying to join their club, but being that they're a bunch of little jerks, and I guess she doesn't really fit in, we're gonna help her. I mean, we've already helped her plenty of times before, so we might as well. We have to go find her treasure that she's dropped. She's lost it right by her dad's workplace, which is in the port of Numara. So we're going to go do that right now. Actually, no, we're not going to do that right now, excuse me. There's one more thing on the main street of Numara that I'd like to go do first before we go to the port, just before I forget. So back on the main street. Kai's sure getting his exercise today. And every day for that matter. We're gonna come into this building, the artist salon. You can talk to this guy here, and we've been collecting some items, and we can give them to him. I'd like you to search for some ancient Eastern tribe relics, stone tablets. So all those stone tablets that we've been collecting throughout the dungeons, we got one in the Crimson Forest, and we got 2 of them in the Great Ancient Ruins. We can bring them to him, and he'll give us 3 decaying particles, which is an absolute rip-off of a gift, but whatever, that's there if you want to do it. Now we're gonna go get that shell for the little girl. So she said it's by her dad's workplace. He works in the shipyard, so it's over here. I'm gonna go see if I can talk to her first, because she's over here searching because she can't find it. She has no idea where it is. I think she's over here, and she'll just tell you to go look for it. She won't really give you a hint. I looked and I looked and I just can't find it, so it's actually not around where she is at all. It's actually over here, straight north of where she is. This little glowing item here. So there we go. So she's gonna go show those kids, and then we actually have to walk back to town to get our reward, which is kind of annoying, but once you found her item, you can come back here, and they're actually going to accept her into their little group, which is nice, because if you remember in the beginning of the game, she kind of asked us if her ears were weird, and she just didn't appear to fit in, so it's always nice when you've got somebody to play with. And she's gonna give us 9 Pandora boxes for that, which again is kind of a stupid prize, but you know, a prize is a prize, I guess I can't complain. Back to the Crimson Forest now. We're just gonna be grabbing a treasure hunt piece of information. We actually got this in a dream back when we were in the Ghost and Refugee camp. I think it came from the dream signpost, if I'm not mistaken, from the little girl in the medical tent. There's a treasure hunt for the Crimson Forest, and it's actually up here right before you get into the actual shrine part of the forest. Right here on this big plate is an ogre bangle that will increase your physical attack power. And now we're going to move on again. That was all there is to do here. We're going to go to the City of Tosca. We're going to get our last dream of the game here. So after you've gotten, this can be triggered anytime after you get Sarah in your party. Come here with, I would probably wait until you have a full party of people, and after you've gotten Sarah, come upstairs to the inn, and you'll get this dream from these 2 men here. And our final dream is So Long Friend. So if this is your first time playing, you'll get an achievement for getting all the dreams in 1,000 Years of Memories, and we'll go get that treasure from that dream here in a little while. One last little thing to do. We're gonna find, I think this is the, Dino family house, and talk to Dino himself. He'll give us another piece of treasure hunt information that is actually in the Black Cave, so it's nearby. Alright, so we'll go do that in a second, but first we're going to leave and we're going to take care of some other business. I know this video is incredibly spread out, but I'm basically just getting all of the treasure hunt information stuff that we haven't gotten yet, because I didn't get it before. So this one's in the Northern Cape. I don't remember where we actually triggered this one. I think we actually got that one from the dream that we just got, and that spell is Ailment Void. Moving on again, we're going to go back to Gohtza, which we haven't seen in a little while. We don't actually see much of Gohtza, like, ever, after it gets frozen over. But I said I was going to come back for some treasure hunt information when I did the Gohtza backtracking video. And it's over here, it's on the 10th floor of the apartment. And I think there's just one lone guy walking around on this floor, and that's who you want to talk to, is this guy over here. It's a treasure in Lowtown, which is actually in Gohtza. So We don't really have to go anywhere really far to get that treasure. So I'm just going to show you some totals before we keep moving on, because I know I've been moving a little bit quickly here. You can see that we have all the dreams, and we've only really got a few more treasures to do. We've got the Black Cave, that one there, we've got the one in the Great Ancient Ruins, and one in the Sea of Boss. So, since we're in the City of Gohtza, we're going to get the one in Gohtza first. And it's just right here, in this corner here. Very, very easy one to get. You really only have to walk, you know, out of the elevator and down the street to get that one, so that only leaves 3 more to get, so this is a small little thing I forgot in the refugee camp when I was here the first time. This is going to just be fixing all of the machines in this area. I don't exactly remember what they're called. Oh, I guess they're magic engines. There are 6 broken magic engines in all, and if we fix all of them, he'll give us a prize. I didn't do this the first time because I don't know, it's not really that much fun or worth it in the end, but the magic engines are just these big glowing blue things. And if every time you examine one, said will fix it, and just try to keep track of the ones that you've fixed. The little purple kind of disc on the bottom of them will start spinning when you fix them, if you forget which ones you've fixed. But they're really not all that difficult to find. There's only one that's really hard to find, and that's because it's like wedged in a corner, barely visible to the human eye. So I'm gonna get that one last. And that one over here. I mean, it is a small area, so it's not like you can really miss a whole lot. You can scout this place top to bottom very, very quickly. So this is our 4th one. I love how there's only 6 of them, but there's something wrong with all 6 of them. It just seems, or something different that's wrong about each of them, I think is kind of funny. If you've been paying attention to what Sed's been saying. Those are the only 2 down here, I think. Yep. Alright, so now I'm going to find the last one, which, of course, naturally, they would make the hardest one to find. And it's actually hidden right here in this corner. And I missed it. I had to kind of cut to where I found it. So that's all 6 of them. So we're going to go back and talk to the guy here. And we get 5 death powders as a reward. So that's optional. And again, not really worth it in my opinion. But now we're going to go back to finding treasures. We're going to do the one in the Black Cave that we just got from Dino. Just go from the north end where we fought the boss, and it's actually in this screen in the Cave of Foul Creatures. You don't even have to really move very far in this area, which is nice. It's just in this little dead end here. Curse Blocker, another accessory for your immortals if you're running low on items to equip your immortals with to get their skills. So we've got the Temple of Enlightenment, which we're not going to yet, and the Sea of Boss treasure, and those are the last 2. So I'm going to go to the open sea, and we're going to get the one for the Sea of Boss here. Now I've got to figure out a place where I want to land. I'm gonna go to Aura, I think, which is right by the Sea of Boss. And you don't need the Nautilus for this, so, or sorry, not the Nautilus, you don't need the White Boa for this, so it's a lot faster just to take the Nautilus and just cruise on over and find it. The Sea of Boss is where the first Grand Staff was, so if you remember where that was, just kind of navigate towards it here. It's of course very visible on the map by the gigantic ring of ice that's around it, so it's kind of on the belt on the very, very outside of the Sea of Boss here. And you can probably, I don't know if you can see it on the mini-map, it's very, very small, but it's just up here in the corner. And it's kind of a pain in the butt to find because it can be a little bit hard to see with all of the hypercurrents, but I'm gonna navigate around and find the sucker. Alright. Apocalypse Rod and a Apocalypse Ring. That's it, guys. We're pretty much done and ready to move on to the final bits of this game. So thank you all so much for all your support and for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.